Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Evans, the editor-in-chief and publisher of Outclick magazine. Today, we're excited to talk to Kay Renz. Kay's a dear friend. She's also the owner of Kay Renz Public Relations. She's also the publicist for the Pompano Beach Cultural Affairs Department. Kay, welcome to the program today.
Thank you so much for having us, Steve. I really appreciate it and appreciate everything that your publication is doing for the arts. It's outstanding.
Thank you. We really appreciate you saying that. The arts are very near and dear to me as an organist, pianist, and handbell ringer, and I know everyone is dying to get back to the arts and see them in person. But like many folks, you all have transitioned to online. But first, tell us what are the components and where the parts of the organization of Pompano Beach?
Well, Pompano Beach has a very active and innovative cultural arts program. So under Pompano Beach Arts, they have the Pompano Beach Cultural Center. They have Bailey Contemporary Arts. They have the Ally Cultural Arts Center. They have the Blanche Ely House Museum. And they also have the incredible public art program.
Okay.
So there's a lot of creativity happening in Pompano Beach. And I think it's added so much to the city, and there's so much creativity and talent that they're really nurturing. And it's really truly becoming a hub for creativity in South Florida.
When COVID hit, I'm going to pull up your site. You went lots and lots and lots of great things are happening virtually. If you want to tell us about some of those.
Yeah, well, I mean, our team is so creative that they have these wonderful exhibitions, and they have classes, and they have workshops, and they have so many things that were happening when COVID hit. And unfortunately, of course, the venues had to be closed, and they still are right now. We all worked together, and we tried to figure out how can we bring this wonderful programming to life. So we worked on a variety of different types of videos that would give people access to what we're doing. And I think it's been a really exciting experience because we're bringing, I think, art to people in a different way.
I've got one that I tried to click one to play, and it opened in a different window. But
it will take you to the YouTube. It will take you to the YouTube channel. So on the website, they all take you to the YouTube channel. So it might be harder for you to hit right now. But on the website, when you go to the virtual events page, there's a plethora of different choices. And what I love about it is that you can sit and relax and watch a conversation with Grammy Award winner Nestor Torres. You can hop on then to learn about art. You can take a class. They have a wonderful summer program coming. And this is really exciting because they're doing $25 per week summer workshops for young people and for people of all ages. So that's an exciting aspect of it. And then there's different ways to learn. I mean, I think we're learning so much through the virtual programming that it's really exciting. Our curators are sitting down with the artists and really going in depth about different topics. We just had a video that we recently posted with John Shakarez. John is a world-renowned photographer, and his exhibition First Fleet is up at the Pompano Beach Cultural Center. You know, unfortunately, we can't get in to see it, but he sat down with us for over a half an hour and talked about what it was like to shoot the space shuttle program in the early years, and the types of camera equipment and the kind of protection that was needed and the innovation that was needed to be able to capture the space shuttle program in an artistic realm. He wasn't just looking for the standard shot. He was looking for that artistic kind of development. And he's gone on now, and he actually works for Apple, and he's worked on developing the lens for the Apple, for the iPhone and so forth. So that's really fascinating. We're really getting into learning a lot. We have an incredible film series. And, you know, you and I were talking a little bit offline, you know, sometimes prior to COVID, getting out for an event after a long day of work wasn't always possible. So sometimes I miss some of the different things that they were doing. But now to sit down when we have the film series montage, we get online, we watch a film together, and we talk with the filmmakers. And I'm telling you, literally, people around the globe are coming in. One of the ones that we did was Sweet Malady, and it was about the diabetes incidences in India. And people from India were on, and the UK were on, and people from all over the country. And we talked about it after the film with the filmmaker, and it was so exciting. And at the end of the month right now, we're having a film called Pick, on July 30th, and it's an award-winning film, and it follows a young schoolgirl who decides to wear natural hair on school photo day and the ramifications of that happening. It's going to really open up an exciting dialogue. So when I look at the team in the Cultural Affairs Department, they are very innovative. They are putting together exciting programs. Right now, we have a variety of exhibitions that are going up. One of them is pollinators, and I know in your last program you were talking about the botanical gardens. And the artists here are capturing the in-depth scientific beauty of the plants, the flora, the fauna, the butterflies. It's absolutely fantastic. We have another exhibition up called Asteroids. Which is a fascinating photo display. And it's from a woman who, when she came to this country, she looked at the architecture and it seemed kind of foreign to her, and it seemed different. And she puts together all these different pieces of these buildings and she creates asteroids out of them. And it's absolutely phenomenal. And then we also have another one coming up that's called Vanishing Florida. And it's touching on some of the different areas of our landscape that are starting to fade and how to capture that. So there's something happening all the time that's really exciting.
One of the things I think you and I were talking about, you all are taking, going beyond just showing the art, but you're engaging with the artists in a whole new way. Before, I think we would go to art shows and we would see the art and appreciate the art. But one of the creative things that you all are really bringing into is having that conversation with the artists, as how it was created, what goes on with their mind, what they want to show, what message they want to present. And this has just been, we've pushed, like myself, we've been pushed in front of the camera and been told, tell your story. And you all have done a phenomenal job of bringing in people and really telling their stories, like you said, of how it came about, what is the show about, and really telling the story and engaging with the artists in a whole new level. And it's really been fascinating to see what you all have done and be really innovative in that area.
Well, it has been. We are extremely fortunate. A huge shout out to the team, because every single one of our team members is hosting different shows, and they are all so good at what they do. So when they sit down, we'll get on Zoom, they'll have a conversation, but we'll also integrate the Zoom interview with up-close photography and other videos, so that you really get a feel that you're being brought into the artist realm. So whether it's an artist that has created, a painting, and we're getting to see it up close, and we're also starting to understand the emotions behind it, or whether in our program, Blended Conversations, that we're sitting down with poets and comedians and other forms of artists and hearing them, monologues are interspersed into the videos, and we're learning about their inspiration and where they come from and their stories. So I think that what we're doing is not only keeping the arts alive, but I think that we're also going to another level, and it's deeper. And I think we're creating more relationships between our patrons and the artists. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, and that whole dimension has just really been amazing. What I'm telling people is that get yourself a Chromecast or an Apple TV or some kind of device, and broadcast it on your large TV and kick back and watch it, and make a night of it, and engage it and watch it in a way that's not just on your phone, not just on your computer, but watch it on your big TV, watch it in the bedroom, grab you some popcorn and watch the show and really enjoy it, make a night of it and plan it. These live broadcasts, especially, the content is so engaging. And I'm telling people it's worth it. I've really enjoyed getting to know the artists and getting to know the people in a whole new way. And so I encourage everyone to get that technology. It's super easy to use, and to watch it on the big TV. It becomes a really unique experience.
Actually, the other night we were doing that. We have a program once a month, and it's called Lyrics Lab.
Okay.
And it was actually one of the first programs that started at Bailey Contemporary Arts. And it's basically an open mic night for musicians, singers, poets, and they come from all over. And what's exciting about it now that it's online is we are literally getting people from LA and New York and Nashville who are joining the host, and they're playing their music and they're sharing their poetry. And it has become such a wonderful outlet for these artists who right now are unable to perform on stages. But it gives them an opportunity to share, you know, what their latest music is, how you can connect with them on social media. We get to hear new stuff that they've created. And it's really exciting to be able to do that and to keep that alive. And as the host said last night, the arts are essential. They are essential workers. And we just need to keep that front and center.
People are feeling very, I've talked to a lot of people that are feeling very isolated right now. There are some people that have not left their house very, very little during this because they don't feel safe. And this is a really great way for people to make connections and to kind of to help with their mental health and to make connections in a way with the artists, with the other people in the audience. And the great thing is they can do it from around the world. So I really encourage people to not just close in, but to look for these kinds of avenues to engage with people and to be part of the conversation. And the arts are such a wonderful way to do that. I think you all have created a really unique environment to help people stay a little bit more sane during a time that's such a challenge.
I think also too, it's about bringing joy. And when I look at some of the programs, I'm looking at Soulful Sundays, which it was this wonderful program that once a month everybody would get together and these great bands would play and everybody would get up and dance and have a good time, and it was amazing. So for the past couple of months, we've kind of been doing like a memory lane edition where Dexter Smith will get on and he'll host it and he'll talk about the bands that have played. But now moving forward, we're actually going to be recording them live so people can enjoy new music and new concerts, which is a fabulous thing to do. I think we're also, when we're looking at learning right now too, I think people are taking a little bit of this time to figure out how can they better themselves, you know, how can they get better at a new skill, or how can they find new ways to feel calmer and more relaxed. And when you look at some of the different art classes that we have, whether it's something you can do with the kids, like we have this wonderful program coming up where you can pick up these stones and you can learn how to make with the kids like these little adorable ladybugs that are made out of these rocks. And it's like so much fun. So that's a wonderful thing you can learn. And then we also have painting classes. So if you're saying, wow, you know, I want to do something creative, but I don't know how to begin, this can start you in at a very basic level. And to say, I can create something, and that builds confidence. So that is very exciting. Same thing with poetry. We have poetry classes on there. And and a lot of people are dealing with emotions right now. And they don't necessarily know how to express them. And they don't know the best way to do it. And the class John Kell got on, he really gave you advice for how to get those emotions out. And I think that that's critical. And another aspect too that we're finding is people are taking time to learn. And there's so much that we don't know about our own communities. So with Blanche Ely House Museum, which is this fabulous museum that is in the home of Blanche and Joseph Ely, you can go in and you can see all their different memorabilia. Of course, you can't get in right now, but Derek Davis, who is a curatorial consultant, is having these wonderful seminars about these amazing people and what they did for the community, for education. And I'm hearing stories that I was like, I had no idea. I mean, I've lived down here 30 some odd years and I didn't know a lot of this. And it's amazing to learn about the history that's in your own neighborhood.
That's one of the things you and I were discussing before this, is that there are so many branches that go out and so many other pieces and parts to learn about South Florida and the people and the location and the history. There's so much to learn, and this is a great time to learn it. This is a great time to sit down and educate yourself and be part of all of these different conversations. I, even being part of the magazine, I am still learning. I'm still, learning about so many of these different fascinating aspects. And hopefully part of this, it will help our community become more solid, our South Florida community more solid, because the more you educate yourself on our history, our people, our legacy, and what's going on, it will make you a better citizen and a more responsible citizen. And so knowing these parts, and so getting the education out there and making us being proud Floridians, I think is very important.
That is such a great statement, Steve, because it was funny. We recently just posted one of the videos that we did on public art, and Laura Atria, our public arts manager, took people on a virtual tour of all the public art in Pompano Beach. And you have a tendency to take those things for granted. Like when you're driving around and you're walking around and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful mural, and oh, this is a great sculpture. You don't realize what it takes to get to that point. And what the artists do and that whole process. So that's just another fascinating part that we're bringing virtually to people so they understand.
I have a book that's a history of the Wilton Manors and a book that's a history of Fort Lauderdale, and it's fascinating to see where we've come as a city and things that progress. And I tell this story. I used to be the organist at the Sanctuary Church over on Federal Highway. And when they built the church back in the 60s, people said, nobody will go to church way out there. Now, of course, that's prime real estate right there on Federal. But when it was built, they said, oh, way out there in the country, way out, from downtown. It was considered, it was just so far away that it was just the mentality of it. Well, of course, now that's, right there on Federal Highway. So when you think about that, was only in the 60s. That was not that long ago. That how fast our city has grown, how fast things have grown, and how where we are as a city. So when you think about things like that, really fascinate me, and what's to come.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There's a lot of excitement to come, and there's a lot of energy to come, and I think that just we're trying to encapsulate some of that and to share it on a different level to make people more aware of all the different things that are here that are being offered, which is fantastic.
It's great. Well, you have so much on your website. I'm going to bring it back up again. You have so much, just so much great content, so many things. Is there any other thing I should click at? So you've got your virtual events and your programs. Where else is anything else in particular you want people to look at, we should share?
Well, if you go to this page here, which is our virtual events page, you literally can be entertained and educated for hours and days on end. And there's more coming as well, in addition to all the Facebook pages that we have that are part of the program. But also, too, one thing I really want to highlight is that, a lot of parents right now, they're home with their kids. They're looking for things to do. They're looking for ways to entertain them and educate them. And if you go to our classes and workshop page, we have several programs that are coming up that are extremely affordable. You look at a lot of these summer camps, and if the prices can be prohibitive to a lot of families. I mean, let's be honest, right now, especially in this time right now, we've all been impacted economically. And these are $25. And they're wonderful classes to really partake in and to learn and to enjoy. So that's something that's exciting. And we're also going to be adding another dimension coming soon, which is going to be hours and hours of programming that will be free that young people can enjoy. So, I mean, I think that when we look at what Pompano has been doing, what the leadership there has been doing in the Cultural Affairs Department and marketing, they have really tried to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to learn and to participate and to be enriched by the arts. And that to me is so important.
There are, I know the children are at home, there are parents that are either unemployed and are trying to make the best of it with their children, or parents that are working from home and trying to homeschool and trying to balance those. And so some resources like this that would give parents some additional options that are both entertaining and educational for children. Sounds like a really fantastic opportunity that you all have created.
Very much. It's a great outlet, and it's a great experience for them. And I think we all want to nurture our young people in ways of self-expression that's positive. And I think this really does that, whether they're looking at poetry and learning how to express their emotions through their words, or picking up their pen and paintbrush and what have you. It's being creative, and that creativity will help them throughout their lives. So I think that that's something that's, part of the foundation that we're trying to instill here.
Well, Kay, it sounds like there's just a plethora of things for people to do and watch and learn. Is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you wanted to cover?
I think we've covered a lot of territory, Stephen. I really appreciate your support of what we're doing in Pompano Beach. It has been critical to get the word out there, and we really appreciate it. And I just encourage everybody who's watching and just wants to have a few moments of, uplifting joy, wants to learn something, wants to explore something new, wants to hear what's really going on in artists' minds and hearts, turn onto our page, take a look. There's content there that I think everybody can relate to and learn something from. So we're just really excited to share it.
The last question I ask everyone is, what are some encouraging words you can give people during these times?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think that taking this time to learn something. You know, we're going through this, we're feeling down, but I think we have to figure out ways to enrich ourselves. And whether it's just to find a way to de-stress or it's a way to occupy our mind, I think we need to get a little bit of personal space, even if it's 20 minutes a day, that is carved out to enrich ourselves in some way. I think that that's really important, and I think we're providing that opportunity on our pages to give people a little bit of escapism and joy.
That's great. We appreciate that word. I've quoted this before. A very wise person once told me, "Don't waste your suffering." And so, if this is a difficult time for people, learn from it and grow from it. And this is an unprecedented time. We are forced into it. I say we're in this movie. I don't know why. Everyone I know is a character. I don't know who wrote this script. We don't know what the ending is, but it is a time that we will all grow and learn from it. So, and your website is pompanobeacharts.org for information. So it's been a real joy talking to you. I know you work very hard at multiple organizations. We've partnered on many things, and you're always a joy to work with. So thank you for all that you're doing for Pompano Beach too, and all your other organizations.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.